My husband invited his mistress to Christmas, saying she's family now. He didn't know I'd invited her husband and kids too. Picture this. The doorbell rings on Christmas Eve, shattering the quiet magic of twinkling lights and the warm scent of fresh-baked cookies. I open the door, and there she is, the woman who's been hiding in the shadows of my marriage. She steps inside, her coat dusted with snow, and wraps her arms around my husband like she's coming home. Her voice is soft, almost pleading, as she whispers, "Thanks for inviting me. I'm so lonely this year. It means everything to be here, with family." Family? My stomach twists like a knife. My husband, Robert, the man I've loved for 40 years, smiles at her, his eyes lighting up in a way they haven't for me in so long. He turns to me, casual as can be, and says, "She's family now, honey. Get used to it." In that moment, the holiday cheer drains from the room. The tray we decorated together, the stockings I'd sewn with care, everything feels like a cruel joke. My heart pounds, a mix of shock and deep, burning hurt. How could he do this, right here in our home, on the one day that's supposed to be about love and togetherness? If this story's already pulling at your heartstrings, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss more real-life tales like this that remind us we're not alone in our struggles. My name is Margaret. I'm 65 now, a homemaker who's poured her soul into this family for 4 decades. Our marriage started with so much promise, young love, dreams of a big house filled with laughter. We raised 4 kids, watched them grow into adults with families of their own. The grandkids are my light, their little faces beaming as they unwrap gifts under the tree. Holidays have always been my special time. I'd spend weeks planning, roasting the turkey just right, stringing garlands, playing carols on the old record player. It wasn't just tradition, it was my way of showing love, of holding us all together through thick and thin. And oh, there were thin times. About 10 years back, cancer hit me hard. Chemo sessions that left me weak, nauseous, barely able to get out of bed. Robert was my rock, or so I thought. He started taking these work trips, long weekends away, always with some excuse about meetings or clients. I never questioned it much. I was too busy fighting for my life, keeping the house running, making sure the kids didn't see how scared I was. I swallowed my doubts, buried the little secrets I noticed, like late-night calls he stepped outside for, or receipts I'd find in his pockets. I did it for peace, for the family. Because that's what love means, right? Sacrificing so everyone else can be happy. But love shouldn't leave you feeling so empty. The loneliness crept in during those sick days when I'd lie in bed alone, wondering if he even missed me. Still, I pushed through. I beat the cancer and life went on. Or at least it pretended to. Then, a few weeks before this Christmas, everything shattered. Robert left his phone on the kitchen counter while he showered. A message popped up. Her name, a heart emoji. My hands trembled as I unlocked it, my world tilting. Texts going back years, intimate words, plans for secret getaways, photos that made my chest ache with betrayal, hotels we'd never stayed at together, gifts he'd bought her, jewelry, perfumes, things he claimed we couldn't afford for me. Tears blurred my vision, but I kept reading. The pain was like a storm inside me. Waves of anger, sadness, disbelief crashing over 40 years of memories. How could he do this? Right here in our home on the one day that's supposed to be about love and togetherness? Then the final blow. I saw our family Christmas guest list on his computer. He'd added her name right below ours. No shame, no hiding. When I confronted him later that night, my voice shaking, he just shrugged. "She's family now," he said. "It's time everyone knows the truth." I felt like I'd been slapped. The man I trusted, the father of my children, treating our marriage like an old coat he could toss aside. That night, I cried in the dark, silent sobs so he wouldn't hear me. My mind raced with questions. What about our vows, our family, me? The hurt was so deep it felt like I was breaking apart. But in that darkness, something shifted. Not just grief, but a quiet fire. I wasn't going to crumble, not after everything I'd survived. I wiped my tears and started planning. Not revenge, at least not at first, just truth. I gathered proof quietly, screenshots of those messages, copies of hotel bills, records of gifts charged to our card. Each piece hurt like reopening a wound, but I pressed on, my resolve growing with every discovery. Then I learned more about her. She wasn't some single stranger. She had a husband, 2 kids, a whole life she was risking, just like he was. My heart ached for them too, innocent in all this mess. I didn't lash out. Instead, I reached out anonymously, a simple message to her husband with just enough evidence to open his eyes. Photos, dates, truths he deserved to know. And that's when I made my move. I invited them, her husband and their kids, to our Christmas dinner. Surprise guests, I called them in my note. Robert had no clue. I set the table that morning with steady hands, the silverware gleaming, the candles ready to light. The smell of roasting turkey filled the air, masking the storm brewing inside me. As the family started arriving, smiles and hugs all around, I felt a strange calm. The doorbell would ring again soon, and when it did, secrets would explode like fireworks. Accusations would fly, truths would spill out, maybe even projected on the wall for all to see, evidence I had ready. But for now, I smiled, pouring eggnog, wondering if this Christmas would end our marriage or start something new. The meal began, laughter echoing, until that final ring. Her family walked in, faces confused at first, then dawning with shock. Robert's fork froze mid-air. The room went silent, heavy with unspoken pain. And in that chaos, as voices rose and hearts broke wide open, I served the real gift, divorce papers, wrapped neatly under the tree. Today, I host holidays alone, but not lonely. My kids stand by me, the grandkids still come with their joy. I've joined a group for others who've been betrayed, sharing stories that heal. The moral? Secrets shatter everything they touch. Honesty, even when it hurts, is the only way to mend. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening to my heart. Remember, you're stronger than you know. The doorbell rang again, sharp and loud, cutting through the soft Christmas music like a warning. Everyone at the table froze for a second, forks hovering, smiles fading. Robert looked at me confused, mouthing, "Who else?" I just smiled back, calm on the outside, but inside my heart was racing like it might burst. I walked to the door, opened it wide, and there they stood, her husband, tall, tired-looking, holding the hand of their 10-year-old daughter, with their teenage son right behind, carrying a small wrapped gift like he'd been told this was just a friendly holiday invite. The man's face was pale. I could see the storm in his eyes already. He'd read my anonymous message. He'd seen the proof, and now he was here. "Come in," I said softly, voice steady even though my knees felt weak. "You're right on time." They stepped inside. The room went dead quiet. The kids at the table, our grandkids, looked up with big, curious eyes. Our own children glanced between me and Robert, sensing something was very wrong. Robert stood up slowly, chair scraping the floor, his face drained of color when he saw them. What is this?" he stammered. The mistress, let's call her Elena, turned from where she'd been laughing at one of Robert's old jokes. Her smile vanished the second she locked eyes with her husband. "Mark?" she whispered. "What are you doing here?" Mark, her husband, didn't answer right away. He just looked at her, then at Robert, then back to her. His voice came out low, hurt, angry all at once. "I got a message, pictures, dates, hotel names. I thought it was a sick joke until I saw the names, until I realized it was you, with him." Elena's hands flew to her mouth. Tears started right away. "Mark, I can explain." But he cut her off. "Explain? In front of our kids? On Christmas?" Our daughter stood up, voice shaking. "Mom? Dad? What's going on?" I took a deep breath, walked to the side table where I'd set up the projector earlier, hidden behind some poinsettias. I clicked the remote, the wall lit up with the evidence I'd gathered. Text messages glowing bright, receipts from hotels, photos of gifts, dates that matched his work trips during my chemo, everything laid bare for the whole family to see. Gasps filled the room. One of the grandkids started crying softly. Our son whispered, "Dad, how could you?" Robert tried to speak, but his words choked. "Margaret, this isn't how How what? I asked, my voice finally cracking with all the pain I'd held in for years. How you wanted everyone to find out? You brought her here. You called her family. You said, get used to it. Well, now everyone gets the truth. Elena's husband stepped forward, voice breaking. You told me you were working late. You said the kids and I were your world. And all this time? Their teenage son looked at his mom like he'd never seen her before. Mom, is this real? She nodded, sobbing now. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to go this far. The room exploded then, accusations flying, voices overlapping. Our kids turned on Robert, hurt and furious. During Mom's cancer? Really, Dad? One shouted. Elena tried to reach for her kids, but Mark pulled them back gently, protecting them from the mess. I didn't yell. I didn't need to. The truth did the yelling for me. As the chaos peaked, I walked to the Christmas tree. Under it, among the pretty wrapped gifts, were 3 plain white envelopes. I handed one to Robert, one to Elena. These are divorce papers, I said quietly, signed and ready. Merry Christmas. Robert stared at his like it was poison. Elena dropped hers, hands shaking. I turned to the family. I didn't do this to hurt anyone more. I did it because secrets were killing me slowly. 40 years of love shouldn't end in lies, but it doesn't have to end in hate either. Later that night, after everyone left, some in tears, some in shock, Robert packed a bag and went to a hotel. Elena and her family went home together, broken but facing the truth. I sat alone by the dying fire, the house quiet except for the soft tick of the clock. For the first time in years, I felt free. The pain was still there, sharp and real, but so was something new, strength. I wasn't just the homemaker anymore. I was Margaret, the woman who chose honesty over pretending. Months later, I started going to a support group for people betrayed like me. We shared stories, cried, laughed even. My kids rallied around me. The grandkids still come for holidays, and we make new traditions. No more hiding. Robert? He tried to apologize, but some things can't be fixed with sorry. Elena and Mark, they're working on their marriage, last I heard. The kids are getting help too. The biggest lesson? Secrets shatter families like glass. But when the pieces are out in the open, sometimes you can finally start healing. If this story touched you, if you've ever felt that deep hurt from betrayal, know you're not alone. You're stronger than the pain, and sometimes the hardest truth sets you free. Thank you for listening to my whole story. If it meant something to you, like, share, or comment your thoughts below. We all need a little light sometimes, especially around the holidays. The silence after the accusations felt heavier than any storm I'd ever known. Robert's face crumpled like old paper. Shock, shame, regret all mixing together. He reached for my hand, but I stepped back gently. Not out of hate, but because touching him right then would have broken me all over again. Elena collapsed into a chair, sobbing into her hands while her husband Mark stood frozen, arms around their kids like a shield. Their daughter whispered, "Mommy, why?" And it pierced every heart in the room. Our own grandkids looked scared. One of them tugged at my sleeve and asked in a tiny voice, "Nana, is everyone okay?" No one was okay, but in that broken moment, the truth finally breathed. Then came the twist I never saw coming. Even I hadn't planned for this. Our oldest daughter, Sarah, who'd been quiet through most of the chaos, suddenly stood up. Tears streamed down her face, but her voice was steady. "Dad, there's something else you need to know." She pulled out her phone, hands shaking, and played a voice recording. It was Robert, his voice clear as day, talking to Elena on a call from months ago. "Margaret's getting older, weaker. The cancer might come back. If it does, it'll be easier if we're already together. She'll understand eventually." The room gasped again. Even Elena looked horrified. Robert's head dropped into his hands. "I didn't mean, I was scared." Sarah turned to me, eyes full of pain and love. "Mom, I found this weeks ago. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to hurt you more, but tonight, everyone deserves the full truth." That recording was the final crack. Robert broke down completely, sobbing like a child, apologizing over and over. "I was a coward, Margaret. I threw away the best thing in my life. "Forgive me, please." But forgiveness isn't a switch you flip. I looked around at the faces I loved most, our kids, the grandkids, even Elena's family who were victims too. I spoke softly, but every word carried weight. I forgave a lot over 40 years. The late nights, the lies during my chemo, the distance. I forgave because I thought love meant carrying it all alone. But love doesn't mean letting someone destroy you slowly. It means protecting your heart and sometimes walking away to heal. I handed Robert his divorce papers again. This time, he took them without a fight. Elena's husband, Mark, nodded slowly, tears in his eyes. "We're done too," he said quietly to her. "The kids and we need to go home and figure this out." As people started leaving, hugs that felt fragile, promises to call tomorrow, the house emptied until it was just me, the twinkling lights, and the echo of what had happened. But here's the biggest twist of all, the one that healed me more than any revenge ever could. A week later, my kids showed up at my door with boxes of decorations. "Mom," Sarah said, "we're not letting you spend New Year's alone. We're starting new traditions. No more secrets, just us." We spent that night laughing through tears, sharing stories of the good times before the pain. The grandkids drew pictures of strong Nana and taped them everywhere. My daughter-in-law hugged me tight and whispered, "You showed us what real strength looks like." Robert tried calling a few times. Apologies, promises to change. I listened once, then told him gently, "Change for yourself now. I've changed for me." Elena and Mark? They're separated, but they're co-parenting with care. Last I heard, she's in therapy, owning her part. Mark's focusing on the kids. No winners in Betrayal, but maybe some survivors. I joined that support group fully, women and men who've been shattered like me. We meet, we cry, we laugh, we remind each other. You didn't cause this. You don't have to carry it forever. Now, holidays look different. Smaller table, louder love. No perfect turkey, but perfect honesty. I bake cookies with the grandkids, hang new stockings with their names, and one for me, just Margaret, because I'm not just someone's wife anymore. I'm me, whole, free. The moral stays the same. Secrets shatter like glass in the night, but when morning comes, you can sweep up the pieces and build something beautiful from what's left. If you've walked through fire like this, if betrayal left scars on your heart, hear me. You're not broken beyond repair. You're rising, stronger, braver, and loved by the people who choose you every day, including yourself. Thank you for staying with my story through every tear and twist. If it touched you, if it reminded you of your own strength, drop a like, share it with someone who needs it, or comment what hit you hardest. We're all in this together. And remember, the hardest holidays can lead to the brightest new beginnings. Weeks turned into months, and the house that once echoed with forced holiday cheer felt strangely peaceful. Empty rooms, quiet mornings, no more pretending everything was fine. I woke up one day realizing I could breathe, really breathe for the first time in years. Robert moved into a small apartment downtown. He called sometimes, voice small and broken. "I miss our life, Margaret. I miss you." I listened, but I didn't rush to fix it. Some breaks can't be glued back the way they were. He started therapy, he said, trying to understand why he threw away 40 years for stolen moments. I wished him well, from a distance. Elena and Mark? Their divorce went through quietly. She lost the house, the routine, the picture-perfect life she'd tried to keep. Mark took the kids most days, she got weekends. I heard through a mutual friend that she cried a lot at first, then slowly started rebuilding. New job, new friends, no more hiding. The truth hurt her too, but like me, it set her free in its own way. Then came the twist that changed everything again. It was spring, Easter time actually. Flowers blooming, sun warm. My phone rang. It was Sarah, our oldest daughter. Her voice trembled with excitement and nerves. "Mom, we need to talk, all of us. Can you come over?" I drove to her house, heart pounding. When I walked in, the whole family was there. Our 4 kids, their spouses, the grandkids running around with Easter eggs, and Robert. sitting in the corner, looking older, smaller, but hopeful. Sarah spoke first. We talked a lot about what happened at Christmas, about the pain, the lies, the way Dad hurt you and us. We were angry, furious. But Mom, we don't want to lose our family completely, not if there's a chance to heal. One by one, they shared. Our son admitted he'd known about the work trips for years, but stayed silent to keep peace. Our youngest daughter confessed she'd overheard fights during my cancer and felt guilty for not saying anything. Tears flowed, honest, raw tears. Robert listened, head bowed, then finally spoke. I was selfish, weak. I convinced myself small lies wouldn't hurt anyone, but they destroyed the woman I loved most. Margaret, if you'll let me, I want to earn back trust. Not as a husband right away, maybe just as a father, a grandfather, step by step, no pressure. I looked around at the faces I'd fought for, cried for, survived for. My heart ached with old love and new caution. Then our granddaughter, little Emma, only 6, tugged my hand. Nana, can Grandpa come to the Easter egg hunt, please? We miss him. That tiny voice broke something open in me. Not forgiveness overnight, but possibility. I nodded slowly. We can try, slowly, with boundaries. Therapy for all of us. No secrets anymore, ever. We spent that Easter together, not perfect, but real. Laughter mixed with awkward silences. Robert helped hide eggs, careful not to stand too close to me. The kids watched us like hawks, protective, but there was hope flickering, like the first light after a long night. Later, alone on my porch watching the sunset, I realized the biggest twist wasn't revenge. It wasn't the divorce papers or the exposed texts on the wall. It was this. I chose me first. I chose honesty, and in doing that, I opened the door for real healing. Not fake holiday smiles, but messy, brave, true change. Robert and I were not back together. Not yet, maybe never as husband and wife, but he's part of family events now. Birthday parties, graduations. He respects my space, I respect his effort. The grandkids get both of us without the shadow of lies. I've kept going to my support group. Some days I share this story, women hug me after, whispering, "You gave me courage." I've even started a small baking business, holiday cookies, custom orders. It keeps my hands busy and my heart full. The moral stays strong. Secrets shatter. But truth rebuilds. Sometimes it rebuilds differently. Stronger foundations, clearer boundaries, deeper love that chooses every day. If you've carried betrayal like a heavy coat, take it off. Let the light in. You deserve peace, you deserve joy, and you deserve to write your own ending. Thank you for riding this whole journey with me, from the heartbreak on Christmas Eve to this quiet, hopeful spring. If any part of Margaret's story felt like yours, comment below. Share your strength. We're all healing together. You're never alone, and the best chapters, they're the ones you write after the storm. Years passed like seasons, some cold and quiet, others blooming with new life. The house I once shared with Robert felt different now. I'd painted the walls a soft blue, planted a garden out back, turned the spare room into a cozy reading nook. No more ghosts in the corners, just me, learning to live fully again. Robert kept his word about boundaries. He showed up for the grandkids' birthdays, soccer games, school plays, always polite, always careful. He never pushed for more than I was ready to give. Therapy helped him face the man he'd become, the one who chose easy escapes over hard truths. He wrote me letters sometimes, not begging, just honest. I see now how much I hurt you. I'm sorry, every day. I read them, folded them away. Forgiveness wasn't a door I slammed shut. It was one I cracked open slowly. Then came the twist that shook everything I thought I knew. It started with a phone call from our middle son, David. His voice was tight, like he was holding back tears. "Mom, you need to come to the house. Dad's here. We all are. There's something we found." I drove over, stomach in knots. The family was gathered in the living room. Sarah, our kids, even the grandkids playing quietly in the next room. Robert sat on the couch, face ashen, holding an old shoebox. Sarah handed it to me. We were cleaning out Dad's storage unit to help him move. This was buried at the bottom. Inside, letters. Not from Alina, from me, to Robert, back when we were dating. Sweet, young love notes. But tucked deeper, photos. old ones, of Robert with my sister, Linda, from before we married, a secret fling they'd had in their early 20s. Linda had moved away soon after, never spoke of it. Robert had kept it hidden all these years. My breath caught. You and Linda? Robert nodded, tears streaming. It was one summer, stupid, drunk mistake. We ended it. When you and I got serious, I swore I'd never tell. I buried it. But the guilt, it ate at me. Maybe that's why I strayed later. I felt like I didn't deserve you from the start. The room spun. My sister, gone now, passed 5 years ago from illness, had carried that secret too? All this time, the affair with Elena wasn't just random betrayal. It was Robert running from his own buried shame. Sarah spoke softly. We talked to Aunt Linda's old journals before she died. She wrote about regretting not telling you. She loved you like a sister. She wanted you happy. I sat down hard. The pain hit fresh. Old wounds reopening, but mixed with something else. Understanding. Robert hadn't just cheated on me, he'd cheated on himself, on us all, trying to outrun a ghost. I looked at him, really looked. The man I'd loved, hated, mourned. Why now? Because hiding it destroyed us, he whispered. No more secrets, even if it means losing you forever. The kids watched, holding their breath. Our granddaughter Emma climbed into my lap. Nana, are you sad? I hugged her tight. A little, but sad things can teach us, baby. That night, we talked till dawn. No yelling, just truth. Messy, ugly, human. Robert offered to leave the family forever if that's what I needed, but I surprised myself. I don't want you gone, I said, but I don't want the old us back either. We start new, as friends, as co-grandparents, as people healing together. Therapy, joint if you're willing, no rushing, no promises. He cried like I'd never seen. Thank you, Margaret, for giving me a chance to be better. We didn't remarry, we didn't live together, but we built something real. Honest family dinners, holidays without masks, grandkids who saw 2 adults choose growth over grudges. Elena? She reached out once, years later. A short note. I'm sorry for my part. I'm better now. Hope you are too. I wrote back, we both paid prices. Let's both keep healing. Today, I host big gatherings again. Robert comes, we sit at opposite ends of the table sometimes, laugh at old stories, share proud glances at our kids' successes. It's not perfect, scars remain, but scars mean survival. The final lesson? Betrayal breaks you open, secrets poison from inside, but truth, raw, terrifying truth, lets light in, it lets love evolve, it lets you become more than the pain. If you felt shattered, if secrets stole your peace, speak yours, face the storm. You might lose what was, but you'll find what can be. Thank you for staying through every tear, twist, and turn of Margaret's journey. If this moved you, if it sparked hope or strength, hit like, share your own story in the comments, subscribe for more tales of real hearts mending. Because the greatest revenge, living well, loving wisely, and never letting secrets win. Time kept moving, gentle but steady. Grandkids grew taller, holidays came and went with less tension and more genuine smiles. Robert and I had settled into this careful rhythm, family events together, separate lives otherwise, therapy sessions where we sat across from each other, not as husband and wife, but as 2 people trying to understand the wreckage we'd made. It wasn't romance reborn, it was respect earned, inch by painful inch. Then, one ordinary Tuesday, everything flipped again. Sarah called me in tears. Mom, sit down. We did something. The kids, our kids, got curious about family history. They did those DNA tests, you know, the ones that show relatives you never knew about. My stomach dropped. What did they find? She paused, voice cracking. A match popped up, a close one, half-sibling level, from Dad's side, but not from Elena, from way before, from Aunt Linda. The room spun. Linda, my sister, who died years ago, the one Robert had confessed to a brief affair with before we married. But this was deeper. Sarah kept going. The match is a woman named Claire. She's in her late 50s. She reached out, said she always wondered about her dad. Mom, Claire's birth date lines up exactly with that summer Robert and Linda. I hung up, hands shaking, and drove straight to Robert's apartment. He opened the door looking older than his years. I didn't wait. "Did you know? About a child?" His face crumbled. "I suspected. Linda told me she was pregnant. She said she handled it, moved away. I believed her. I was young, scared. I never asked questions after that. I buried it, like everything else." Claire arrived a week later. We met at a quiet park, neutral ground. She looked like Linda, same soft eyes, same quiet strength, and yes, traces of Robert in her smile. We sat on a bench, wind rustling leaves, and she told her story. "Mom, Linda, raised me alone. She never said who my father was, just that he was someone from back home who couldn't be part of our life. I did the test hoping for answers. I never expected this." Tears came fast, for her lost childhood, for Linda's silence, for Robert's cowardice, for me, the sister who never knew she had a niece out there carrying secrets. Robert spoke first, voice breaking. "I failed you before you were even born. I failed your mother. I failed Margaret. If you'll let me, I want to know you. No pressure, just family." Claire looked at me. "And you? After everything he did to you? Can you handle this?" I took her hand. It felt like holding Linda's again. "I lost my sister too soon. I won't lose you because of old pain. You're part of us now. Welcome home." The family gathered that weekend, not for a holiday, for truth. Claire met her half-siblings, our kids, who stared in shock, then hugged her like she'd always been there. Grandkids called her Aunt Claire right away, no hesitation. Robert sat quietly, letting the moment belong to everyone else. But the deepest twist? Claire brought letters Linda had written but never sent. One to me. "Sis, I loved him once, but you were the one he chose. Forgive me for not telling you. Protect your heart. He's weak, but you're strong. Raise your babies with the love we never had." Another to Robert. "Don't look for us. Let Margaret have the life we couldn't. She's the best of us." Reading them aloud, we all cried. The cycle of secrets, affairs hidden, children unknown, pain passed down, stopped right there, in that room with a woman we'd never met before becoming the bridge. Today, Claire comes for holidays. She and I bake Linda's favorite cookies together. Robert is part of it too, grandfather to her kids now, careful and grateful. Our family isn't perfect. Scars show, but we talk about them. No more burying. The ultimate lesson? Betrayal doesn't just break one heart. It echoes through generations until someone dares to speak it out loud. Secrets chain us. Truth sets everyone free, even the ones who hurt us most. Margaret's story ends not with revenge or reunion in the old way, but with expansion, more love, more people, more healing. Because when you choose truth over silence, the family you end up with is bigger, braver, and real. If this journey from Christmas shock to this quiet miracle moved you, if it sparked your own memories or hope, comment what twist hit hardest, share with someone carrying secrets. Subscribe for stories that remind us pain can rewrite endings into beginnings. You're not defined by what was hidden, you're defined by what you choose to face. Thank you for every moment you've spent here. Your heart matters. Keep shining. Life settled into a gentle new normal after Claire joined us. Family dinners grew louder, fuller, extra chairs pulled up, stories shared across generations. Claire brought her 2 teenagers, who called me Aunt Margaret like it had always been true. Robert watched from the edges at first, grateful just to be included. We all healed in small ways, shared laughs over old photos, quiet talks about the pain we'd carried. But truth has a way of digging deeper when you least expect it. One crisp fall afternoon, Claire texted me, "Margaret, you need to see this. The kids did DNA tests for fun, school project on heritage. Results came back, and there's more." I met her at a coffee shop, heart already racing. She slid her phone over. The app showed close matches, not just to Robert and our kids, but to someone new, a young woman in her 30s named Sophia, half-sibling level to Claire and, shockingly, to our own daughter, Sarah. Sophia had uploaded her results months earlier looking for her bio father. Her mom, long estranged, had confessed on her deathbed. "Your dad was a married man from back home. He never knew about you. His name was Robert." The twist hit like lightning. Sophia was Robert's daughter from another affair. Not with Linda, not with Elena, a third secret fling decades ago during one of those work trips Robert took even before my cancer. Sophia grew up believing her mom never wanted the dad involved. She'd searched quietly, hoping for closure. But here's where it gets almost too much. Sophia lived only 2 towns over. She'd gone to the same high school as our son David, same classes, same friends. They'd even dated briefly in college. Nothing serious, thank God, just a few dates that fizzled. But they could have. They almost... When Sophia learned the truth, she reached out to Claire first. "I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to know where I come from." We gathered the family again, this time with Sophia on video call at first, then in person. Robert broke down seeing her. "Another child I never knew. I was so selfish, so blind." Sophia cried too, anger, relief, confusion swirling. Our kids stared in stunned silence at this woman who looked so much like them, same eyes, same quiet smile. Sarah hugged her first. "You're my sister. Half or full doesn't matter. You're here now." The real miracle came weeks later. Sophia mentioned health issues, unexplained fatigue, family history of a rare blood disorder on her mom's side. Doctors had no answers, but with the new DNA connections, we all tested. Turns out the disorder runs on Robert's side too, a gene he'd carried unknowingly. Early detection saved Sophia from worse complications. Doctors said if she'd waited longer, it could have been too late. That revelation changed everything. Betrayal had hidden her from us. Truth not only found her, it might have saved her life. Sophia integrated slowly. Family holidays now include her and her kids. Robert makes amends every day. Small acts, therapy, listening without defending. I watch him with her, with Claire, with our grandkids, and see a man finally facing himself. Me? I've become the family anchor, the one who says, "No more secrets." We talk openly about the pain, the affairs, the hidden children. The grandkids grow up knowing honesty isn't scary, it's freeing. The circle completes like this. What started as one Christmas betrayal shattered everything, but rebuilt it bigger. More siblings, more love, more life saved. Robert and I never remarried, but we share grandkids, holidays, even quiet coffee chats. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's choosing growth over grudges. The deepest lesson? Family isn't just blood, it's the people who stay when truth hurts most. Secrets chain generations in darkness. Truth lights the way out, even if it burns at first. Margaret's story isn't over. It's alive in every family member who chooses honesty now, in Sophia's healthy smile, in Claire's laughter at the table, in the grandkids who hug everyone without question. If you followed this far, from that snowy Christmas doorbell to this full circle miracle, thank you. Your heart was here with mine through every twist. If it stirred something in you, your own secrets, your own strength, comment below. Share a piece of your story. Like, subscribe, spread it. Because someone out there needs to hear, you're not alone. Truth can hurt, but it heals deeper than silence ever could. The end isn't revenge or reunion, it's legacy. Choose truth, build bigger love, and watch your family become unbreakable. Winter returned. Soft snow blanketing the garden I'd planted years ago. The house glowed with simple lights. No grand decorations, just warm lamps in every window. Inside, the table was set for more people than ever before. Claire and her family, Sophia and hers, our 4 children, their spouses, the grandkids, now teenagers and young adults, and Robert, sitting quietly at one end, hands folded, eyes soft with gratitude. This Christmas wasn't about perfection, it was about presence. As we passed plates of turkey and mashed potatoes, recipes I'd taught the grandkids over video calls during lockdowns, Sophia cleared her throat. "I have something to say, something I've been holding since we all met." Everyone went still. She pulled a small velvet box from her pocket. Inside, a delicate silver locket. "My mom gave this to me before she passed. She said it belonged to someone important. I never opened it until last week." She clicked it open. 2 tiny photos faced each other. One of a very young Robert, smiling shyly. The other, me, A picture taken the summer before our wedding, me laughing in a sundress, hair blowing in the wind. Sophia's voice trembled. Mom wrote on the back, "This is the woman he truly loved. If you ever find him, tell her she was never second. She was the reason he tried to be better, even when he failed." The room filled with quiet sobs. Robert covered his face. I reached across the table and took Sophia's hand. "Your mother knew me better than I knew myself back then." Then Claire spoke up, eyes shining. "There's more. I found an old letter in Linda's things after she passed. She wrote it the year she left town. It was addressed to you, Margaret, but she never mailed it." Claire read aloud, voice steady but thick with emotion. "Dear sis, I'm leaving because I can't face what I almost broke. Robert was weak that summer, but you are the strongest person I know. Raise your babies, love them fiercely, and if he ever hurts you, remember, you don't need to forgive to be whole. You just need to keep choosing yourself. I love you forever, Linda." I let the words sink in. Tears fell freely now, not from pain, but from the beauty of finally hearing my sister's voice again after so many silent years. Robert stood slowly. For the first time in decades, he didn't defend or explain. He simply said, "I spent most of my life running from shame, from the mistakes with Linda, from hiding Sophia, from betraying Margaret during her hardest fight. I can't undo any of it, but I can spend whatever time I have left showing up, honestly, humbly, for every person in this room." He looked at me last. "Margaret, thank you for not letting hate win. You gave us all a second chance at being a real family." The grandkids started clapping, slow at first, then louder, joyful. One by one, everyone joined. Not applause for perfection, applause for survival, for truth, for love that bent but never fully broke. Later, when the house quieted and snow fell thicker outside, I stood alone on the porch. Robert joined me, coat over his shoulders. We didn't speak for a long time. Finally, he said, "I never deserved you." I smiled through fresh tears. Maybe not, but I deserved to be loved well, and in the end, I learned how to love myself that way. We watched the snow in silence, a peaceful goodbye to the old story and a gentle hello to whatever came next. Years from now, the grandkids will tell this tale, not as a tragedy of betrayal, but as proof that broken things can become beautiful when truth is invited in. They'll say Nana Margaret showed them, family isn't who you're born to, it's who you choose to keep healing with. And that, my friends, is the real miracle of it all. If you've walked every step of this long, winding road with me, from that shocking Christmas doorbell to this quiet, snow-covered porch, thank you from the deepest part of my heart. You've witnessed a story of pain turned into purpose, secrets turned into strength. May you carry a little of that courage with you. May you speak your truth, even when your voice shakes. May you build families, blood or chosen, that choose honesty over hiding. You are never too broken to begin again. With all my love, Margaret. AI disclaimer. This entire story, from the first Christmas twist to this final snowy porch moment, is a work of fiction created for entertainment and emotional storytelling. It draws inspiration from real-life themes of betrayal, healing, and family resilience, but no characters, events, or details are based on actual people or true occurrences. It was crafted with care to explore human emotions and growth. Thank you for being here through every tear and twist. Close your eyes for a second. Feel the quiet snow falling, the warmth of chosen love, and the promise of new beginnings. Beautiful, isn't it?